Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Workplace Safety Awareness and Procedures session. I'm Marvin Cam, Safety Officer 2, and I'm here with the HR department. Today, we'll be going through the basic safety training module. Over the next few slides, we'll cover important safety procedures, best practices, and how we can work together to keep our workplace safe. Let's get started. Let's talk about the importance of workplace safety. Ensuring a safe environment is not just about avoiding accidents. It's about caring for everyone's well-being and creating a productive, positive workspace. Now, when we look at legal responsibilities, both employers and employees have clear roles to play. Employers are responsible for providing a safe environment and proper training, while employees must follow safety protocols and report hazards. Next, I want to give you an overview of safety policies and procedures. These are the guidelines that help us maintain safety standards consistently across the workplace. They're designed to protect everyone and ensure that we all know what to do in different situations. Finally, I'll introduce the broader concept of safety itself. It's not just about rules, it's about cultivating a safety-conscious culture where everyone feels responsible and empowered to keep each other safe. Remember, safety is a shared commitment that underpins our entire presentation and our daily work lives. Let's talk about why workplace safety is so much more than just a legal requirement. It's a vital part of creating a productive and responsible work environment. First, protecting employees is at the core. By preventing injuries and illnesses, we help ensure everyone's physical and mental well-being. When safety is a priority, it creates a work setting where everyone feels secure and valued. Next, workplace safety directly impacts productivity. Fewer accidents mean less downtime, which keeps workflows smooth and efficient. When employees feel safe, they can focus better on their tasks, leading to higher quality work and fewer disruptions caused by safety incidents. And of course, safety also helps us manage costs. By reducing medical expenses and compensation claims, we save money. Plus, preventing property damage and equipment loss avoids unnecessary expenses. Most importantly, adhering to safety standards helps us avoid legal penalties that come with noncompliance. In essence, promoting workplace safety benefits everyone, our people, our productivity, and our bottom line. It's an essential part of building a responsible and successful organization. Building a positive culture is absolutely essential for the success of any organization. When we promote teamwork and shared responsibility, we foster an environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to contribute their best. This not only boosts employee morale, but also helps with retention, because people want to stay where they feel supported and part of a team. Showing that management truly cares and is committed to the well-being of employees creates trust and loyalty. It's about creating a workplace where everyone feels safe, respected, and engaged. When we focus on building this kind of positive environment, it naturally encourages productivity and long-term stability for the company. Now, shifting gears a bit, compliance with laws is equally important. Meeting government safety regulations, like those from DOL and following OSH standards, isn't just about avoiding penalties, it's about protecting our people. By adhering to these laws, we prevent legal issues that could disrupt our operations or even lead to shutdowns. Ultimately, both building a positive culture and ensuring compliance work hand in hand. They create a safe, motivated, and legally sound workplace where everyone can thrive and the business can grow sustainably. Now, let's talk about the employer's legal responsibilities in maintaining a safe workplace. First and foremost, it's essential to provide a safe environment where hazards are minimized or eliminated. This means implementing effective safety programs, policies, and guidelines that everyone can follow. Next, safety training plays a crucial role. Employers must orient and train employees on safety protocols and emergency procedures so everyone knows what to do in case of an emergency. This includes proper use of equipment and personal protective equipment, or PPE. Speaking of PPE, it's the employer's responsibility to supply and maintain these safety gear at no cost to employees. Additionally, All tools and machinery must be regularly inspected to ensure they are safe to use. Reporting and record keeping are also key. Any accidents, injuries, or work-related illnesses should be reported promptly to the proper authorities, and detailed records of these incidents should be maintained. This helps in tracking safety performance and preventing future incidents. Employers must also comply with government regulations, such as the occupational safety and health standards, including those set by DOL. This means allowing inspections and cooperating fully with safety officers and authorities. Finally, it's important to appoint qualified personnel, like a safety officer and a first aider. These individuals are responsible for monitoring safety measures and providing emergency response when needed. All these responsibilities are interconnected and vital in creating a workplace that's not just productive, but also safe and compliant with the law. Now, let's talk about our legal responsibilities in the workplace, specifically what employees are expected to do to help maintain safety. First and foremost, it's crucial to follow safety rules and procedures. This means adhering to the company's safety policies, paying attention to signs, and following all protocols designed to keep everyone safe. Next, using equipment properly is essential. Always operate tools and machinery as instructed, and don't forget to use the required personal protective equipment, or PPE, whenever necessary. This simple step can prevent many accidents. Reporting hazards and incidents is another key responsibility. If you see something unsafe, or if an accident or near miss occurs, it's important to notify your supervisor immediately. Prompt reporting helps address issues quickly and prevents further harm. Participating in safety training is also vital. Whether it's orientations, drills, or ongoing education, staying engaged and informed is what keeps us all prepared and aware of best safety practices. Additionally, cooperating during safety investigations is a responsibility we all share. Providing accurate information and feedback during incident reviews helps identify root causes and improve safety measures. Finally, avoiding acts that could endanger others is fundamental. Refraining from horseplay, negligence, or violating safety protocols helps protect not just yourself, but everyone around you. Remember, safety is a shared responsibility. When we all do our part, we create a safer, more productive workplace for everyone. Let's talk about the different types of workplace hazards, starting with physical hazards. These are hazards caused by environmental factors that can cause harm, and what's important to note is that they can be dangerous whether or not there's direct contact. For example, noise levels in a busy factory or construction site can be harmful over time. Slippery floors are another common hazard, especially in areas where spills or weather conditions make surfaces slick. Moving machinery also poses a significant risk, as it can cause injuries if proper safety measures aren't followed. Heat, cold, and vibrations are additional physical hazards that can affect workers' health, sometimes subtly but seriously over time. Radiation, depending on the work environment, can also be a hazard if proper precautions aren't in place. And we can't forget about falling objects, which are a common cause of injuries in many workplaces. Now, when we talk about hazard identification, it's crucial to remember that recognizing these physical hazards is the first step toward preventing accidents. By understanding what to look for, be it noise, slippery surfaces, or moving machinery, we can take proactive steps to keep ourselves and our colleagues safe. This connects to the overall theme of workplace safety. Awareness and early detection are key to creating a safer work environment for everyone. Now, let's focus on chemical hazards, which are a significant type of workplace hazard. Exposure to harmful chemicals can happen in many forms, solid, liquid, or gas, and these can cause serious health issues or injuries if we're not careful. For example, common substances like cleaning agents and solvents are often used in various industries, but they can irritate our skin or eyes or even cause respiratory problems if inhaled. Pesticides and toxic fumes are other examples that pose risks, especially if proper safety measures aren't followed. Then there are paints, acids, and flammable materials. These are all chemicals that require careful handling to prevent accidents. Chemical burns and respiratory issues are common injuries associated with improper exposure. That's why hazard identification is so crucial, so we can recognize these dangers early and take steps to protect ourselves. Remember, understanding the types of chemicals we work with helps us minimize risks and maintain a safe work environment. All right, now let's talk about biological hazards in the workplace. These are hazards that involve organisms or biological substances that can actually harm human health. They might sound a bit intimidating, but understanding them is key to keeping ourselves safe. Some common examples include bacteria and viruses, like COVID-19 or influenza, which can spread quite easily if proper precautions aren't taken. We also need to be aware of blood and bodily fluids, as they can carry infectious agents. Mold and mildew are other biological hazards that can affect respiratory health, especially in damp environments. In addition, insect bites or animal droppings can introduce pathogens, so it's important to handle these risks carefully. When it comes to hazard identification, the goal is to recognize these biological agents before they cause harm. Being aware of what to look for helps us prevent exposure and maintain a safe working environment. So, in summary, identifying biological hazards involves understanding the organisms and substances involved and being vigilant about potential sources. This is a crucial part of overall workplace safety, and it ties into our broader efforts to protect everyone from health risks. Now, let's talk about ergonomic hazards, which are a common type of workplace hazard. These hazards happen when there's improper posture or repetitive movements that can really strain our bodies over time. For example, poor workstation setup is a big one. If your chair, desk, or computer are not arranged correctly, it can lead to discomfort and injury. Manual lifting or carrying heavy objects without proper technique can also cause strain or injury. Repetitive tasks like typing or scanning, if not managed well, can lead to repetitive strain injuries. And of course, awkward movements or overexertion, those sudden or unnatural motions, can also contribute to ergonomic issues. When it comes to identifying these hazards, it's important to look closely at how work is being performed and the environment. Ensuring your workstation is set up correctly, taking regular breaks, and using proper techniques when lifting can help prevent these types of hazards. Remember, addressing ergonomic hazards not only improves comfort, but also helps maintain long-term health and productivity at work. Now, let's talk about some of the less obvious but equally important workplace hazards. These are the psychosocial hazards. These affect a worker's mental well-being and can often be caused by workplace culture, stress, or even conflicts between colleagues. It's important to recognize that these hazards aren't just about physical safety. They impact how people feel and function at work. Some key examples include work-related stress, which can build up over time and affect performance and health. Then there's harassment or bullying, which creates a hostile environment and can have serious emotional consequences. Long hours or lack of breaks also contribute, leading to burnout and fatigue. And finally, job insecurity or poor support from management can cause anxiety and a sense of instability. When we talk about hazard identification here, it's crucial to look beyond physical risks and consider these mental and emotional factors. Recognizing these hazards helps us create a healthier, more supportive workplace for everyone. All right, let's talk about the first step in hazard reporting, identifying the hazard. It's really important to stay alert and recognize any unsafe conditions, behaviors, or situations that could potentially cause harm. For example, if you see exposed wiring, a chemical spill, broken equipment, or even a blocked emergency exit, these are clear signs that something isn't right. If you see something unsafe, remember, don't hesitate, say something immediately. Prompt hazard reporting is crucial because it ensures quick action, which can prevent accidents before they happen. This is a key part of our overall safety procedures because catching hazards early keeps everyone safe and helps maintain a secure work environment. So, always be vigilant and ready to report any hazards you notice. Now, the next step is to report the hazard to your supervisor. Make sure to notify your immediate supervisor or the safety officer right away. When you do this, be sure to provide specific details, where the hazard is located, the time you observed it, and a clear description of what the hazard is. This helps ensure the right action is taken quickly. If it's safe to do so, you should also take immediate action. Warn others nearby so they don't unknowingly walk into danger. Use safety signage, like wet floor signs, to alert everyone. And if the hazard involves equipment that could cause harm, shut it down immediately if that's safe to do. Remember, reporting hazards promptly and acting swiftly can prevent accidents and keep everyone safe. Now, let's talk about the follow-up process. After reporting a hazard, it's important to check back to see if the corrective action has been taken. This helps ensure that the hazard has been properly addressed. If the hazard isn't resolved or if it gets worse, don't hesitate to report again. Continuous follow-up is key to maintaining a safe work environment. Next, let's look at filling out a hazard report form. Always use your company's official hazard or incident report form to document the issue. When filling it out, be sure to include the date and time of the hazard, a clear description of its nature, and any possible risks involved. Also, suggest corrective actions if you have ideas on how to fix the problem. Remember, proper reporting is vital for safety. It helps ensure that hazards are addressed promptly and effectively, contributing to a safer workplace for everyone. Let's talk about confidentiality first. It's crucial that we respect the privacy of those who report hazards or concerns. Remember, you can always report anonymously if that's what makes someone comfortable. This encourages more honest reporting, which ultimately helps us keep everyone safe. Once a report comes in, the next step is to acknowledge its receipt. Let the person know their concern has been received and is being taken seriously. Then, assess the hazard promptly. Timely action is key to preventing accidents or injuries. After evaluating the situation, take control measures to mitigate the hazard and record all actions taken. Proper documentation is essential. Make sure you close the report correctly and submit all relevant documentation to management or HR for review and follow-up. For safety officers and supervisors, it's especially important to handle these reports professionally. Your role is to ensure these steps are followed diligently, reinforcing our commitment to a safe workplace. By doing so, you're not just managing hazards, you're fostering a culture of safety and trust across the organization. Let's take a closer look at the different types of PPE, or personal protective equipment. First, head protection, such as hard hats or helmets. These are essential because they protect your head from falling objects and potential head trauma. It's a simple but crucial line of defense. Next, we have eye and face protection. This includes safety goggles and face shields. Their purpose is to shield your eyes from hazards like chemicals, flying particles, sparks, or even harmful light. Remember, eye injuries can be serious and often permanent, so proper protection is vital. Moving on to respiratory protection, such as dust masks, N95 respirators, or cartridge respirators. These are designed to protect your lungs from harmful dust, fumes, vapors, or infectious agents. Breathing in dangerous substances can lead to long-term health issues, so using the right respiratory PPE is key. It's important to understand that PPE is really your last line of defense. When engineering controls or administrative measures aren't enough to eliminate hazards, PPE steps in to keep you safe. Always prioritize implementing those other controls first, but never forget to wear the appropriate PPE when necessary to protect yourself. Let's talk about personal protective equipment, or PPE, which is crucial for keeping us safe in the workplace. First, we have hand protection. This includes items like rubber gloves, leather gloves, and cut-resistant gloves. Their main purpose is to prevent injuries from cuts, chemicals, heat, or electricity, so they act as a barrier between your hands and potential hazards. Next, there's body protection. Think of coveralls, aprons, and flame-resistant clothing. These are designed to shield your skin and clothing from chemical splashes, heat, and dirt, helping to prevent more serious injuries or contamination. Then we have foot protection. Safety shoes, steel-toe boots, and slip-resistant shoes are essential here. They protect against crushing injuries, punctures, slips, and even electrical hazards, giving your feet the support and safety they need. Finally, hearing protection like earplugs and earmuffs are vital when you're exposed to loud noises. They help reduce exposure to harmful noise levels, which can cause long-term hearing damage. It's important to remember that PPE is really your last line of defense. Even when engineering controls and administrative measures are in place, PPE acts as that final safeguard to protect you from hazards that can't be completely eliminated. Now let's talk about the correct use and maintenance of PPE. First, when it comes to correct use, it's essential to wear PPE that is not only suitable for the task, but also fits properly. A good fit ensures maximum protection and comfort. Remember, PPE should only be used for its intended purpose. Using the right equipment for the right task is key to safety. Also, always follow the training instructions for putting on and taking off PPE, as proper techniques help prevent contamination or accidents. Moving on to maintenance, it's crucial to regularly inspect your PPE for any signs of damage, wear, or contamination. This helps catch problems early before they compromise safety. After each use, especially for reusable items, make sure to clean and sanitize your PPE thoroughly. Proper cleaning extends the lifespan of the equipment and ensures it remains safe to use. When storing PPE, keep it in a dry, clean, and safe place to prevent damage and contamination. And finally, replace PPE whenever it becomes expired, worn out, or damaged. Using compromised gear defeats the purpose of protection altogether. Remember, PPE is a vital part of our safety protocols, and proper use and maintenance are key to keeping ourselves safe on the job. Now, while PPE is absolutely essential for protecting ourselves, it's important to recognize that it's not foolproof. PPE does not eliminate the hazard itself, it simply provides a barrier. So, even with PPE, there's always a possibility that the hazard could affect us if we're not careful. Additionally, PPE can fail if it's not worn properly or used correctly. That means proper training and attention are critical to make sure it's effective. We should also be aware that PPE can sometimes limit our mobility, reduce visibility, or hinder communication. These are practical considerations that can impact our ability to work safely and efficiently. And finally, PPE should never be seen as the only safety measure. It must be combined with other safety practices, like clear signage, thorough training, and effective hazard controls. Remember, PPE is just one part of a comprehensive safety strategy, and understanding its limitations helps us stay vigilant and prepared. Let's talk about fire prevention methods. It all begins with awareness and cultivating good habits. Being aware of potential fire hazards and knowing how to prevent them is key to keeping ourselves and others safe. When we think about fire safety and prevention, it's not just about reacting to fires, but actively working to prevent them from happening in the first place. Small actions like properly storing flammable materials, turning off electrical appliances when not in use, and avoiding overloading circuits can make a huge difference. Remember, safety is a continuous process. Developing good habits, like regular checks for fire risks and staying alert to potential dangers, really reinforces our overall safety strategy. By being proactive and attentive, we contribute to a safer environment for everyone. So always keep awareness at the forefront and practice good habits daily. It's the foundation of effective fire prevention. Now let's talk about some important fire safety and prevention tips. First, there are a few key don'ts to keep in mind. For example, do not overload electrical outlets, as this can cause overheating and increase the risk of a fire. Also, make sure not to block fire extinguishers or fire exits, because in an emergency, quick access is crucial. Smoking should only happen in designated areas, never in non-smoking zones, to prevent accidental fires. And always remember, never leave open flames unattended. Even a small candle or stove can become a hazard if left unsupervised. On the other hand, there are several proactive do's that help keep everyone safe. Turn off electrical equipment when you're not using it to reduce the chance of electrical fires. Store flammable liquids properly, and always in designated cabinets designed for that purpose. Keep escape routes and exits clear at all times. This is vital for a quick evacuation if needed. Regular maintenance of equipment also plays a big role in preventing fires, as it ensures everything is functioning properly and safely. Lastly, installing smoke detectors and fire alarms is essential. They're your early warning system, giving you precious time to respond in case of fire. Remember, fire safety isn't just about following rules. It's about creating a safe environment for everyone. By understanding and applying these simple but crucial points, we're all contributing to a safer workplace and community. Now, let's take a closer look at the different classes of fires and the appropriate extinguisher types for each. Starting with Class A fires, these involve ordinary combustibles like paper, wood, and cloth. For these, the most effective extinguishers are water, foam, or dry chemical agents. Moving on to Class B fires, which involve flammable liquids such as gasoline, oil, and paint. Here, foam, CO2, or dry chemical extinguishers are typically used to suppress the fire quickly and safely. Next, we have Class C fires, which involve electrical equipment like appliances and wiring. Since electricity is involved, we rely on CO2 or dry chemical extinguishers that won't conduct electricity or cause further damage. Then there's Class D fires, which involve combustible metals like magnesium and titanium. These require specialized powder extinguishers designed specifically for metal fires, as regular extinguishers won't be effective. Finally, Class K fires occur in kitchens, involving cooking oils and fats. Wet chemical extinguishers are most suitable here because they effectively suppress grease fires and prevent reignition. Understanding these classifications and matching them with the right extinguishers is a fundamental part of fire safety and prevention. It helps us respond quickly and effectively, minimizing damage and protecting lives. If you discover a fire, the first thing to do is sound the alarm or activate the fire notification system. This alerts everyone in the building that there's a problem and helps ensure a quick response. Next, call emergency services, whether that's the local fire department or dialing 911, so they can send help immediately. If you're trained and it's safe to do so, you can attempt to extinguish the fire, but only if you feel confident and it's not putting you at risk. The priority is always your safety and the safety of others. Once the alarm is raised and emergency services are contacted, you need to evacuate immediately using the nearest exit. Remember, do not use elevators during a fire. They can become dangerous or stop working. Head straight to the designated assembly area outside the building. It's crucial that everyone gathers there so we can account for all personnel. After everyone is assembled, report the head count to the fire marshal or supervisor so they know if anyone is missing or still inside. These steps are vital because they help us respond quickly, stay safe, and ensure everyone is accounted for during a fire emergency. Let's talk about fire safety and prevention. If you see a fire spreading or reigniting, it's crucial to evacuate immediately to ensure everyone's safety. Now, when it comes to using a fire extinguisher, there's a simple but effective method called the pass technique. First, P stands for pull the pin. This unlocks the extinguisher and prepares it for use. Next, O is for aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, because that's where the fuel is, and that's what we need to target. Then S for squeeze the handle slowly and evenly. This releases the extinguishing agent. Finally, S for sweep the nozzle from side to side, covering the area of the fire thoroughly. A couple of important tips. Always stand about 6 to 8 feet away from the fire, and remember, aim at the base, not the flames themselves. These key points help ensure you're using the extinguisher safely and effectively. Connecting this to our overall safety theme, knowing how to properly handle a fire extinguisher can make all the difference in preventing a small fire from becoming a disaster. Let's talk a bit about manual handling and ergonomics. Essentially, manual handling covers activities like lifting, carrying, pushing, pulling, or moving loads using our hands or physical effort. These are common tasks in many workplaces, but if not done properly, they can pose serious health risks. Poor handling techniques can lead to musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs, which include issues like back pain, strains, and other injuries to muscles, tendons, and joints. That's why understanding proper ergonomics and safe handling practices is so important. By paying attention to how we handle loads, we can prevent injuries and promote a healthier, more productive work environment. This ties into our overall theme of workplace safety and well-being, emphasizing that small changes in our handling approach can make a big difference. Let's talk about some key points to keep in mind when manual handling and ergonomics come into play during lifting. First, it's crucial to avoid twisting or jerking during the lift. Sudden movements can increase the risk of injury, so smooth, controlled motions are essential. Now, when it comes to proper lifting techniques, there are a few steps I always recommend. Before you lift, take a moment to plan. Know where you're going with the object and ensure your path is clear of any tripping hazards. Check the weight of the load. If it feels too heavy, don't hesitate to ask for help. When you're ready to lift, stand close to the object. That minimizes strain. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart for good balance. Bend your knees, not your back. That's a key point to protect your spine. Keep your back straight and chest forward to maintain proper posture. Grip the object firmly with both hands and lift slowly, using your legs rather than your back. As you lift and move the object, hold it close to your body. That helps to reduce strain. Remember, controlled movements and proper technique are vital to prevent injuries and ensure safety during manual handling. Let's talk about manual handling and ergonomics, which are crucial for avoiding musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs. These disorders can affect muscles, nerves, joints, and the spine, and they often result from poor handling or posture. To prevent these issues, it's important to use ergonomic equipment like adjustable chairs, desks, and tools that support proper body mechanics. Maintaining good posture is key whether you're sitting, standing, or lifting. Keeping your back straight and shoulders relaxed makes a big difference. Taking regular breaks from repetitive tasks helps reduce strain and fatigue, so don't forget to step away periodically. When tasks require effort, avoid overexertion by using team lifts or specialized equipment. Never try to push through when something feels too heavy or awkward. And finally, stretching and warming up before physical activities can prepare your muscles and prevent injuries. All these strategies are about creating a safer, healthier work environment, one that supports your well-being and keeps you productive. Now, let's talk about safe use of tools and equipment, which is a key part of manual handling and ergonomics. To reduce strain and prevent injuries, it's important to follow some simple but crucial practices. First, always use the right tool for the job. Using the correct tool not only makes the task easier but also safer. Before you start, inspect your tools to ensure they're in good condition. Look for any damage or wear. Keeping tools well-maintained and clean is also essential for safety and efficiency. When necessary, opt for ergonomic grips and anti-vibration handles to reduce strain on your hands and arms. Wearing personal protective equipment like gloves and safety glasses provides an extra layer of protection. On the flip side, there are things to avoid. Never use damaged or makeshift tools, as they can be unpredictable and dangerous. Avoid overreaching or applying excessive force, which can lead to injuries. And always pay attention to signs of fatigue, strain, or pain. These are signals that your body needs a break or adjustments. Remember, these practices are vital not just for your safety, but also for maintaining productivity and overall well-being in the workplace. Let's start by talking about some common electrical hazards that you should always be aware of. These include exposed live wires or damaged cords, which can pose serious shock risks. Overloaded circuits or outlets are also dangerous because they can cause overheating and fires. Improper grounding can lead to electric shocks, especially if there's a fault. Wet areas near electrical equipment are particularly hazardous since water conducts electricity and increases the risk of shocks. And of course, contact with energized parts can result in severe injuries or even fatalities. Now on to safety tips. First, never touch electrical equipment with wet hands. This is a simple but vital rule. Keep all liquids away from electronics and electrical outlets to prevent accidental shocks or short circuits. Always inspect cords, plugs, and outlets before using them. Look for any damage or wear that could compromise safety. When working in environments where GFCIs are required, make sure to use ground fault circuit interrupters. They can detect leaks of current and cut off power quickly. And remember, only qualified personnel should repair or service electrical systems, because working on electricity without proper training can be deadly. Electrical safety is crucial because working with or around electricity involves risks like shocks, burns, fires, or even fatal injuries. Maintaining strict safety awareness helps prevent these accidents and keeps everyone safe. So, always stay alert, follow safety protocols, and respect the power of electricity. Now, let's talk about lockout/tagout procedures, or LOTO. This is a critical safety practice that ensures machinery is properly shut off and cannot be accidentally restarted before maintenance is completed. The key point here is that only the person who applied the lock or tag can remove it. This prevents anyone else from unknowingly turning equipment back on while work is still in progress. The main purpose of LOTO is to prevent accidental energization, which could otherwise lead to serious injuries. So, what are the key steps to follow? First, you need to notify all affected employees so everyone is aware of the maintenance activity. Then, shut down the equipment completely. Next, isolate all energy sources, think electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, or any other type that could energize the machinery. After that, apply the lockout or tagout devices. The lock prevents operation, securing the equipment physically, while the tag serves as a warning not to operate it. It's important to also release any stored energy. This might mean bleeding off pressure, discharging capacitors, or other measures to ensure nothing is left energized. Before starting work, verify that the equipment is truly isolated and de-energized. And finally, once the work is finished and it's safe, remove the locks and tags, only after confirming that it's safe to do so. Remember, safety always comes first, especially when dealing with electrical systems or other energy sources. Remember, even low voltage can be fatal, so it's crucial to always respect electricity. When working near energized equipment, the key point is to assume that the equipment is energized unless you have confirmed otherwise. This mindset helps prevent complacency and potential accidents. Safety practices are essential here. First, always keep a safe distance from any energized components. This reduces the risk of accidental contact or arc flash. Second, make sure to use insulated tools and wear the appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and arc-rated gear. These are your primary defenses against electrical hazards. If you're unqualified or not specially trained, it's important to only work under supervision. Never attempt to work on energized systems without proper training and oversight. Also, familiarize yourself with the limits of approach. These are the safe distances you must maintain from live parts to avoid shock or injury. Finally, always follow permit-to-work systems and established safe work procedures. These protocols are designed to keep everyone safe and ensure that work is done methodically and responsibly. Remember, electricity demands our respect, and following these safety practices is vital to protect yourself and others. Falls from heights are actually one of the leading causes of workplace injuries and, unfortunately, fatalities. It's a serious issue that we can't ignore. That's why proper precautions are so critical, because they can literally save lives. When you're working at height, safety should always come first. This means using appropriate safety gear, following established procedures, and making sure your work environment is secure. Remember, no task is so urgent that it can't be done safely. By staying vigilant and following safety protocols, we can reduce the risk and protect ourselves and our colleagues. Overall, Focusing on working at height safety is essential in creating a safer workplace for everyone. Let's talk about fall prevention systems, which are essential when working at heights of 6 feet or higher, or as required by local standards. The main goal here is to keep workers safe and prevent falls before they happen. First, we have fall prevention equipment, starting with the full-body harness. It's crucial that it is worn correctly and attached to a secure anchor point at all times. Remember, it must be inspected before each use to ensure it's in good condition and ready to do its job if needed. Next, there are lanyards and lifelines. Shock-absorbing types are especially important because they help reduce the impact force if a fall occurs. But it's not just about having the right equipment, it's about making sure it matches the work environment and the height you're working at. Then we have guardrails. These are installed at the edges of platforms, roofs, and other elevated areas. A proper guardrail system includes a top rail, a mid-rail, and a toe board. Each component plays a vital role in preventing accidental falls over the edge. Finally, anchorage points are critical. They need to support at least 5,000 pounds, or about 2,268 kilograms, per worker attached. And of course, they should be installed and certified by a competent person to ensure they are reliable and safe to use. All these systems work together to create a safer working environment at heights. Remember, safety isn't just about compliance, it's about protecting ourselves and our colleagues every step of the way. All right, let's talk about ladder safety. First, a crucial point, do not stand on the top rung unless that rung is specifically designed for it. It might seem tempting, but it's unsafe and can lead to falls or injuries. Now, when using a ladder, always inspect it carefully before each use. Look for any damage or defects that could compromise its stability. A damaged ladder just isn't worth the risk. Next, make sure the ladder is set up on a stable, level surface. No wobbly ground or uneven spots. Stability is key. While you're climbing, remember to maintain a 3-point contact at all times. That means 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand, keeping you balanced and secure. And don't lean too far out. Keep your belt buckle between the rails. This helps prevent you from tipping over or losing your balance. Always use a ladder that's the proper height and type for your task. A makeshift ladder or one that's too short is dangerous. Also, never exceed the ladder's weight limit. Respect the manufacturer's specifications to stay safe. Finally, when working at height, stay aware of safety measures at all times. Follow these points consistently, and you'll reduce the risk of accidents and injuries. Always remember, never move or work on scaffolding during strong winds, heavy rain, or lightning. Safety first, especially when working at height. Now, let's go over some scaffolding basics. First, only qualified persons should be involved in erecting, modifying, or dismantling scaffolding. This isn't a task for just anyone. Special training and knowledge are essential to ensure safety. Next, it's crucial to ensure that proper guardrails, toe boards, and planking are in place before starting work. These components are designed to prevent falls and protect everyone on the platform. The scaffolding itself must be stable and level. Always set it up on a solid base, nothing shaky or uneven. That could cause it to tip or collapse. When it's time to get on the scaffolding, use access ladders or stairs. Climbing on braces or other parts of the structure is dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Before each workday, inspect the scaffolding thoroughly. Check for any damage, loose connections, or missing parts. It's a simple step that can prevent accidents. And finally, keep the platforms clear of debris, tools, or materials that could cause someone to trip or fall. Maintaining a clean workspace on the scaffold is key to safe working conditions. Remember, working at height involves risks, but with these safety practices, we can minimize those risks and keep everyone safe. All right, let's go over some key safety reminders. First, always wear a helmet and fall protection gear whenever you're working at height. This is crucial to protect yourself in case of a fall or any accidental impact. Next, if you notice any hazards on site, report them immediately. Don't wait. Addressing hazards early can prevent accidents before they happen. Also, never bypass safety systems. These systems are in place for your protection, and bypassing them can lead to serious injuries. Remember, working at height requires extra vigilance and adherence to safety protocols. By following these simple but essential points, we can keep ourselves safe and ensure everyone goes home healthy. Being prepared can truly make a difference in emergency situations at work. When we're ready, it can save lives and help minimize injuries. This slide highlights the importance of having an effective emergency response plan in place. Being prepared means knowing what to do and who to contact when an emergency occurs. It also involves having the right training and resources readily available. Remember, in an emergency, calm and quick action are crucial. Connecting this to our overall safety culture, being prepared is one of the best ways we can protect ourselves and our colleagues. So, always stay informed, stay ready, and know your role in an emergency response. Let's talk about the basics of first aid, which are absolutely crucial before professional help arrives. First, always check for danger to yourself and the victim before approaching. Safety comes first. Then, call for help immediately to ensure that professional assistance is on its way. Once you've done that, provide basic care within your training. Now, the key skills you need to remember include CPR, which is vital for unconscious victims who have no pulse or breathing. Wound care is also essential. Control bleeding by applying direct pressure and covering the wound with a clean dressing. For burns, cool the area with running water, not ice, and cover it with a clean cloth to prevent infection. If someone has a fracture or sprain, immobilize the area and avoid moving them unnecessarily. And in cases of choking, perform abdominal thrusts, also known as the Heimlich maneuver, to help clear the airway. Remember, in any emergency, your response can make a life-saving difference. Always act quickly, stay calm, and follow these basic principles to provide effective first aid until professional help arrives. Let's talk about emergency contact protocols. In urgent situations, quick communication can make a huge difference. So, what are the key steps to follow? First, call emergency services using the local number or 911. If you're in the U.S., it's essential to get help on its way as quickly as possible. Next, notify our internal response team. This could be a safety officer or a nurse, so they can coordinate further actions. When you're speaking with emergency responders or the response team, be clear and concise. Make sure to provide your name, the location of the incident, the type of emergency, and the condition of any injured persons. This information helps responders prepare accordingly. After the incident, it's important to follow up by documenting everything in an incident report. Also, a helpful tip: post emergency numbers prominently near phones, bulletin boards, or workstations so you can access them quickly when needed. Remember, in an emergency, prompt and clear communication is vital to ensuring everyone's safety. Let's talk about evacuation plans and muster points. In case of emergencies like fire, earthquake, or hazardous leaks, it's crucial to have a clear plan in place. First, the evacuation plan includes an alarm system or notification procedures to alert everyone quickly. We also need to ensure that exit routes are unobstructed and well marked, so no one gets lost or delayed during an emergency. Assigning specific roles is essential. Fire wardens, first aiders, and assembly coordinators all play a part in keeping everyone safe and organized. Additionally, evacuation maps should be posted in all areas, so everyone knows exactly where to go. Now, the muster point, or assembly area, is a predefined safe zone where all employees gather after evacuating. This spot is used for head counts and to give emergency instructions. It must be safe from danger, easily accessible, and large enough to accommodate everyone. Regular emergency drills are a vital part of preparedness. They help ensure that everyone knows what to do and can act swiftly in real situations. Remember, quick and organized responses can make a huge difference in safety. So, clear plans, designated roles, and regular practice are the keys to effective emergency response. Maintaining health and hygiene in the workplace is essential. not just for individual well-being, but for everyone around us. When we prioritize good hygiene, we're actively protecting our colleagues, our customers, and even the environment we all share. It's about creating a safe and healthy space where everyone can perform their best. Remember, simple actions like regular hand washing, keeping surfaces clean, and proper waste disposal can make a huge difference. Ultimately, fostering a culture of health and hygiene supports our overall goal of a safe, productive, and pleasant work environment. Let's talk about why cleanliness is so important. First, maintaining a clean environment helps prevent the spread of germs, bacteria, and viruses, which is crucial for everyone's health. When our workspace is clean, it reduces the risk of illnesses, which means fewer sick days and less absenteeism. It also creates a safe, pleasant, and professional atmosphere that benefits everyone. Plus, keeping things tidy helps us stay compliant with health regulations, avoiding potential issues down the line. Now, what are some good practices to keep in mind? Regularly cleaning and sanitizing our work areas, tools, and shared spaces is key. It's also important to wash our hands often, especially after using the restroom, sneezing, or handling waste, to stop germs from spreading. And let's not forget about keeping our personal and shared items neat and organized, which makes the environment safer and more efficient for everyone. All of these points tie back to health and hygiene. By staying mindful of cleanliness, we're not just following rules, we're actively protecting ourselves and our colleagues. A clean workspace supports overall well-being and helps us maintain a professional, welcoming environment. Let's talk about safe handling of food and waste. First, when it comes to food handling, it's crucial to wash your hands thoroughly both before and after touching food. This simple step helps prevent the spread of bacteria. Always use gloves, hairnets, and clean utensils to keep everything hygienic. Remember to store food at the correct temperatures. Hot foods hot, cold foods cold, to ensure safety. Labeling and dating food containers is also important, as it helps us keep track of freshness and prevents spoilage. And to avoid cross-contamination, always separate raw foods from cooked or ready-to-eat items. Now, moving on to waste management. It's essential to dispose of food and other waste in designated closed bins. This not only keeps the area clean, but also helps prevent pests and unpleasant odors. Make sure to empty these bins regularly, especially during busy times, to maintain a hygienic environment. When handling waste, always wear personal protective equipment like gloves and masks to protect yourself. Afterward, cleaning waste bins and the surrounding areas regularly is key to maintaining overall cleanliness and safety. Lastly, health and hygiene are the foundation of everything we do. By following these practices, we not only protect ourselves, but also ensure the safety and quality of our food and environment. These steps are vital in maintaining a safe, clean, and efficient operation, aligning perfectly with our overall goal of delivering the best possible service. A clean workplace is a healthy workplace. Remember, clean habits can actually prevent sick days. When we talk about disease prevention, there are some key practices to keep in mind. First, practicing proper hand hygiene is crucial. Spend at least 20 seconds washing your hands with soap and water. This simple step can significantly reduce the spread of germs. Next, always cover your mouth and nose when you cough or sneeze, either using your elbow or a tissue. This helps protect those around you and minimizes contamination. It's also important to regularly disinfect high-touch surfaces like doorknobs, phones, and desks, because these are common places where germs can linger. Encouraging vaccinations and routine checkups is another vital aspect. Staying up to date on health screenings keeps everyone safer. And if you're feeling unwell, the best thing you can do is stay home. This prevents spreading illness to others in the workplace. Now, moving on to the use of PPE and sanitation. Providing hand sanitizers and disinfectant wipes in shared areas makes it easier for everyone to maintain good hygiene. Wearing face masks in high-risk zones or when required adds an extra layer of protection. Finally, fostering a culture of health awareness and responsibility is essential. When we all stay committed to these practices, we create a safer, healthier environment for ourselves and our colleagues. Remember, a little effort in hygiene not only keeps us healthy, but also keeps our workplace running smoothly. Any questions? I want to thank you all for your time and attention today. This is the moment to clarify any points or concerns you might have. Remember, no question is too small or too big. Your understanding is what matters most. Feel free to ask about anything we've covered, whether it's a specific detail or a broader concept. My goal is to ensure that everyone leaves here with a clear grasp of the material. So please, don't hesitate to speak up now. I'm here to help clarify and deepen your understanding. Thank you again for your engagement throughout the presentation.